Welcome. Before I give you the 15 most powerful psychology tricks to read anyone like an open book, let me ask you a question. Have you ever been lied to and didn't realize it until it was too late? Have you ever trusted someone who later broke your heart? Have you ever felt something was wrong but ignored your gut because they said the right words? If you answered yes, this video is for you, and it may just change your life forever. Because today, you're going to learn something that most people never teach you in school: how to read human beings. Not just their words, but their eyes, energy, movements, tone, and silence. You'll learn how to read what someone is really feeling, even if they're pretending. You'll learn how to know if someone is lying to you, secretly jealous, truly attracted to you, hiding guilt, or silently screaming for help. And once you learn this skill, you will trust people better, protect your heart, strengthen your relationships, improve your communication, and most importantly, understand the truth, even when it's not spoken. Because here's the truth: words lie, but the body never does. And this video will teach you how to see what others miss. Before we begin the first trick, let me show you how powerful this really is. Let's play a quick game, and you must be honest. Question 1. Think of a country that starts with the letter D. Don't say it out loud, just keep it in your mind. Question 2. Take the last letter of that country and think of an animal that starts with that letter. Still don't say anything, just think. Question 3. Now think of a color that starts with the last letter of that animal. Lock it in. Hold that country, animal, and color in your head. Are you ready? Let me guess. You're thinking of Denmark, kangaroo, orange. Was I right? If yes, congratulations! You just proved something very important. Most people follow hidden mental patterns without realizing it. You had freedom to choose, but psychology guided your answer. That's how powerful this topic is, and that was just a fun trick. Now imagine using real psychology to read real people in your daily life: your boss, your lover, your friend, your enemy. Before we begin, this video will not only teach you how to read anyone, it will also improve your English naturally. So, if you want to grow your mind and your language, subscribe now. Let's begin. Trick 1, watch the eyes. They show what the mouth hides. There's one part of the human body that never learned how to lie. It doesn't matter how clever, calm, or charming a person is, this part always reveals the truth. That part is the eyes. People can train their voice. They can control their tone. They can rehearse their words before they speak. They can fake a smile. They can act confident, but they can never teach their eyes to lie, because eyes don't speak from the brain. They speak from the heart. They are the first part of your body to react when emotion hits, before you even realize it yourself. Think about it. When someone feels love, their eyes soften. When someone feels joy, their eyes shine. When someone feels fear, their eyes widen. When someone feels guilt, their eyes fall away. And when someone feels pain, their eyes dim like light covered by a storm cloud. We've all seen this, but we often ignore it because we're too focused on the words. But if you truly want to understand someone, you must learn to stop listening to the noise and start looking at the eyes. Because words are logic, eyes are emotion, and emotion is always the real story. Imagine this moment. You ask your friend, "Are you okay?" They smile and say, "Yeah, I'm fine." But their eyes, they don't move like they used to. They blink slower. They don't sparkle. And for just half a second, you saw something heavy inside them, like their heart was trying to speak through the silence. That's not fine. That's pain wearing a mask. And if you're the kind of person who listens only to words, you'll miss it every time. But if you're the kind who watches with compassion, you'll see it, and maybe for the first time in their life, someone will finally understand them. Sometimes the opposite happens. You meet someone who barely says anything, yet you feel something magnetic about them. They don't talk much, but when they look at you, it's different. Their eyes stay. Their gaze doesn't wander. It's calm. It's warm. It feels like they actually see you. That's love. That's respect. That's real presence, the kind that can't be faked or practiced. And when someone looks at you like that, you feel safe, because the eyes carry truth, and truth carries peace. Now, think about lies again. There are two types of liars. The first kind avoids eye contact completely. They know they're lying, so they look away out of guilt. They blink too much. They try to distract you with gestures or smiles. The second kind, the more dangerous one, stares too hard. They force eye contact because they've been told that honest people look you in the eye. But that stare doesn't feel calm. It feels heavy, forced, unnatural. Their eyes don't rest. They attack. The difference is easy to feel. One kind of gaze avoids truth. The other tries too hard to create it. But neither is natural. Real honesty is calm. It doesn't rush. It doesn't prove. It simply is. The eyes are a mirror. They reflect exactly what the heart is carrying. When you look into someone's eyes, you're not just seeing them. You're seeing their world. You're seeing memories, fears, hopes, and emotions that words can't express. That's why it's so hard to hold eye contact with someone you love, because it feels like standing naked in front of their soul. And that's why it's painful to hold eye contact with someone who has hurt you, because you can feel the distance where warmth used to be. The eyes are not just organs of sight, they're organs of emotion. They don't just see others, they show us. So from today, I want you to start observing differently. When you talk to someone, stop thinking about your next sentence. Watch. Notice. Observe the movement of their eyes. When do they shine? When do they fall? When do they freeze? When do they avoid you? When do they soften? That's where the truth hides. It's not in the big speeches. It's in the tiny flicker that lasts half a second but says everything. One day, you'll meet someone who will look at you not with lust, not with curiosity, not with politeness, but with presence. And you'll feel something powerful, because in that moment, their eyes are saying, I see you, all of you. No judgment, no pretending, just truth. That's connection. That's what humans crave more than anything, to be seen. And on another day, you'll meet someone whose eyes used to look at you with love, but now they avoid you. They talk, they smile, they joke, but their gaze never lands on you anymore. That's when you'll know the emotion has changed. And that realization will hurt, but it will also free you, because the eyes don't lie. And sometimes the truth is the gift that finally lets you stop begging for love that's already gone. So if you want to read anyone in relationships, business, friendship, or family, don't rush to listen. Pause. Look into the eyes. Because everything they've ever felt, everything they're hiding, everything they wish they could say is right there. And once you learn to read that, you'll never walk blindly again. Trick 2, the voice tells you everything, even when the words lie. Sometimes people lie with their lips, but their voice tells the truth. This is called paralanguage, the sound behind the words. It includes things like tone. Are they warm, cold, sharp? Pitch. Is the voice higher than usual, nervous? Speed. Are they rushing their words or pausing too long? Volume. Are they too soft when denying something? breath or sighs. That quiet sigh when they say, "I'm okay." Why does it matter? Because when the voice doesn't match the message, something is being hidden. Example, they say, "I'm fine," but the voice is soft. The tone is flat. Maybe a tiny pause before speaking. That's not fine. That's pain pretending to be okay. They say, "No, I don't care." But they say it quickly, sharply, with a raised pitch, almost as if they're angry. That means they do care a lot. Your job isn't just to hear the words. Your job is to listen to the music behind them, the emotional soundtrack. When you train your ear for paralanguage, you'll never be fooled again. You'll hear sadness behind smiles, jealousy behind jokes, and love behind silence. Trick 3, crossed arms and legs, the silent language of emotional walls. The body talks louder than words. And one of its loudest signals is this: crossed arms or crossed legs. This is not just about sitting style. It's a psychological wall, the body's way of protecting itself. When someone crosses their arms in front of their chest or crosses their legs away from you, it's often a silent message of discomfort, resistance, or emotional distance. It could mean, "I don't feel safe right now. I don't trust this conversation. I'm protecting myself emotionally or physically." Suddenly, they cross their arms, lean back, or tighten their shoulders. Their mouth might say, "It's fine," but their body just screamed, "This is not fine." Even crossed legs tell you something powerful. If their legs are crossed away from you, it often means disconnection. If their legs are crossed toward you, it can mean interest or comfort. Also, crossing arms can be fake confidence too. When someone stands with arms crossed and chin up, it might look powerful, but often it's actually fear hiding behind control. When you see crossed limbs, don't judge, observe. The body is building a wall. Ask yourself, what are they protecting? Trick 4, the micropause, the silent space between the lie and the truth. You ask a simple question: "Where were you last night?" They smile, they nod, then they pause just for a second, a tiny hesitation, and then they answer, "I was with my friends." Most people wouldn't even notice that pause. It's not dramatic, it's not loud, it's not a full silence. It's just one small breath before the sentence. But that breath, that 1 second of hesitation, that's the sound of the brain trying to decide. What should I say right now? What will make me look innocent? What's the safest way to answer this question? That pause is the bridge between two worlds. One world is truth, which flows freely. The other world is filtered speech, which needs to be planned, edited, masked. And when someone pauses in that moment, that tiny delay, they're not speaking from the heart, they're speaking from calculation. Here's what most people don't understand. Truth doesn't hesitate. When someone is being real, their words flow easily. There's no delay, no preparation, no mental filtering. If you ask someone, "Did you take the money?" and they answer instantly, "No, I didn't," their answer is aligned with their truth. But if you ask the same question and there's even a half-second delay, followed by a vague tone or a change in expression, what you just witnessed is their internal conflict. It's the brain trying to build a believable version of the truth, which is another way of saying they're not telling you everything. This pause can happen in any situation, not just when someone is lying, but also when they're hiding something or protecting someone or feeling afraid to be judged. It's not always about guilt. Sometimes it's about fear of being misunderstood. But in either case, the result is the same. Hesitation is the shadow of truth. It shows you that something isn't flowing naturally. And when you see that pause, that flicker of silence, That micro moment of searching, that's your moment to stop listening to the words and start asking. Why did they need time to answer something so simple? You ask your friend, do you still want to come to the trip with us? And they smile and say, yeah, of course. But you noticed it. The tiny pause, the look away, the shift in tone. They said yes, but that pause whispered, I'm not sure. I don't really want to, but I don't want to hurt you. I'm already pulling away. In that moment, that 1 second delay can tell you more than a whole conversation. Because people think lies are found in big stories. But the truth is usually hiding in the tiniest space between question and answer. And when you learn to notice it, you'll start hearing the words behind the words. Trick 5. The feet point to the truth, even when the face pretends. Here's something that almost nobody talks about, but once you notice it, you can't unsee it. We spend our whole lives watching people's faces, trying to read their smile, their eyes, their tone. But the face is the most controlled part of the body. We're taught from childhood, smile even when you don't mean it, keep a straight face, don't show you're angry. The face is trained, it's rehearsed, it knows how to lie. But there's one part of the body that no one ever trains, and that part is the feet. The feet are raw, they're honest. They're the last thing people think to control in a conversation, and that's why they often reveal the deepest truth. Now, listen carefully to this. Wherever the feet are pointing, that's where the mind and heart want to go. So imagine this. You're standing in a group conversation. Someone is talking to you. They're smiling, they're nodding. They're saying all the right words, but their feet, they're pointed toward the door or toward someone else, or they keep shifting side to side like they're restless. That's the moment you realize they don't really want to be here. They're looking for an escape. They've already left emotionally. Their body is just waiting for permission. This also works in relationships. Let's say you're sitting with your partner on the couch. You're trying to have a real conversation. They say, I'm listening, go on. But they're leaning back. Their arms are crossed and their feet are pointed away toward the hallway, the wall, the edge of the room. What you're feeling in that moment, that emotional distance, isn't just in your head. It's in their posture. It's in their legs. It's in the way their body is disconnecting from you, even while their mouth says, I'm listening. And once you learn to see that, you'll stop chasing words and start reading what matters most, where their heart is already moving. It works the other way too. When someone is truly present with you, they lean in. Their feet face you directly. They don't shuffle. They don't aim for the exit. Their whole body is saying, I'm here. I'm with you. I'm focused. And you feel it. You feel safe, heard, valued, because the body speaks louder than any sentence. Now think about how many times you've ignored this sign. How many times you've talked to someone and you knew deep down they weren't really with you, but you kept talking, you kept hoping, you believed their words, but ignored the truth under your feet. And how many times have people done the same to you? Smiled at you, but their feet already pointed towards someone else. In dating, in friendship, in arguments, in everyday life, the body is always speaking. But the feet, they often tell the truth before the heart dares to. So from today, when you talk to someone, don't just look at their eyes, look at their direction. Where are their feet? Where is their body leaning? Where are they really going? Because words go where the brain wants, but feet go where the soul is pulling. And when the two don't match, always believe the feet. They're the compass of attention. They don't lie. Trick 6, touching the neck, the body's silent cry for safety. You're in the middle of a conversation. You say something serious, something real, something emotional, and suddenly they touch their neck. Not obviously, just a small motion, a hand brushing the side of the neck, fingers rubbing the back of it, a gentle scratch, pulling at a necklace, adjusting their collar. To most people, it looks like nothing, just a physical habit, just a moment. But to someone who sees clearly, to you, it means everything. Because this is one of the body's oldest protective reflexes. You see, the neck is a vulnerable place. It holds the throat, the voice, the breath, the pulse. It's where the body feels exposed, especially in moments of emotional pressure. So when someone touches their neck, they're not just fixing their shirt, they're calming themselves. They're soothing their stress. They're comforting their anxiety without even knowing it. This is one of the body's most subconscious ways of saying, I don't feel safe right now. I'm not sure I trust this situation. I'm uncomfortable with what was just said. I feel exposed, uncertain, maybe even guilty. It's often seen in people hiding something, people who are nervous, people trying to act confident but failing inside, people who feel watched or judged, people about to lie or avoid the full truth. And the most fascinating part? They don't know they're doing it. That's why it's such a reliable signal. The brain sends a message straight to the hand. Cover the weak spot. Calm down. Breathe. And the hand obeys without permission. It's not a performance. It's an emotional leak. Let's paint a real scene. You're talking to your partner. You ask, "Why didn't you tell me earlier?" They reply, "I didn't think it was important." But as they say it, they touch the side of their neck, or adjust their hoodie, or fidget with their necklace. They don't realize it, but you feel something's off. Something about their body whispered, they're nervous, they're hiding something, they're not as calm as they pretend. And you were right. That small touch was the scream the mouth couldn't let out. Now think back. How many times have you touched your own neck when you were lying just a little, feeling awkward in a conversation, afraid of what someone might say, trying to end a topic quickly, feeling too exposed emotionally, and you didn't even realize you were doing it? It's not guilt, it's instinct. The body is trying to protect the voice because when we feel unsafe emotionally, we feel unsafe physically too. So from today, become someone who sees it in meetings, in relationships, in confrontations, in moments of deep truth. Watch the neck. Because the moment someone touches it, that's the moment something real is happening inside. They're not just reacting, they're revealing. And if you notice that sign with patience, not pressure, you can guide the conversation to a place of honesty, because now you're not guessing, you're reading, and that makes all the difference. Trick 7, the mirroring effect. How people reveal their true connection without speaking a word. You're sitting with someone, maybe a friend, maybe someone new, maybe someone you love, or someone who might love you back. And slowly, something strange begins to happen. You lean back, they lean back. You rest your hand on the table. They do the same. You cross your legs. A moment later, so do they. You shift, they shift. You laugh, they smile. You touch your hair. They touch theirs. It's subtle. It's soft. It's not obvious, but it's real. What's happening in that moment is called mirroring, and it's one of the deepest signs of human connection. You see, when two people feel emotionally close, even subconsciously, they begin to sync. Their body language, their movements become similar. Their gestures begin to align. Their posture, tone, rhythm all start to reflect each other. And the most amazing part? It's not on purpose. It's not a strategy. It's not a technique. It's the body saying, I feel connected to you, without asking, without thinking, without trying. Why does this happen? Because the human mind is built for connection. We want to feel safe. We want to feel seen. We want to belong. So when we feel close to someone emotionally, intellectually, romantically, the body says, "Let me match you. Let me join your rhythm. Let me meet you where you are." It's empathy in motion. It's emotional alignment without words. It happens between friends, lovers, parents and children, students and teachers, strangers who instantly connect. And the more someone respects you, admires you, or feels drawn to you, the more they will mirror your movement. But here's where it gets powerful. Mirroring doesn't only show attraction, it also shows trust. In arguments, if two people mirror each other, it means they're still emotionally connected, even if they're fighting. In job interviews, if the interviewer slowly starts copying your energy or tone, it means you're making a good impression. In relationships, when someone mirrors your gestures without knowing it, it means your hearts are dancing to the same music, even in silence. If you change posture and they follow without thinking, it's a sign of shared emotional space. Now, what if they don't mirror you? What if you're sharing your heart and they stay still? What if you lean forward to connect and they stay cold and distant? What if your energy softens and theirs becomes sharper? That's a message too. It means disconnection, discomfort, distrust, emotional walls. And when someone intentionally breaks your rhythm or refuses to meet your energy, their body is saying, "I don't feel safe with you. I don't want to join you. I'm not emotionally present." And that can hurt. But that truth can also free you, because now you're not guessing anymore. You're not chasing something that doesn't exist. You're seeing it clearly in the dance of the body. So here's what I want you to remember. When people connect, they don't always say it, but their body does, their rhythm does, their posture does, their little gestures do. So from now on, watch for the match. Feel the mirror. Notice the alignment. Because when two hearts are on the same page, the body will always follow. And when it doesn't, that's your clue to stop fighting for someone who's already walking away in silence. Trick 8. Pursed lips, holding back what the heart wants to say. Sometimes the most honest sentence is the one that never gets spoken. You ask someone, "Are you okay?" They say, "I'm fine." But their lips tighten, close firmly, pressed together like a door being locked. That's not fine. That's a heart holding back a storm. This behavior, lips pressed tightly together, is called pursing the lips. It might look small. It might seem like nothing, but psychologically, it's one of the clearest signs that someone is holding back emotion, truth, or pain. Pursed lips mean, "I'm angry, but I'm not ready to explode. I'm sad, but I don't want to cry. I have something to say, but I'm afraid to speak it. I'm trying to control my reaction so I don't lose you." It's emotional containment. A person doesn't want to reveal what's inside, but the pressure is already building. So the lips become the wall, the gate, the lock. They hold everything in. You'll see this often in arguments when someone can't say what they're feeling, in relationships when one partner is tired of pretending, in friendships when someone feels unappreciated, in family settings when there's old pain that was never healed, in work situations when someone feels insulted or overlooked but can't show it. They say, "It's okay, whatever," but you see the lips tighten. Their mouth goes quiet. Their words stop short. And now you know they're not done speaking. They're just scared to speak. Think of it like this. The human mouth is where emotions come out. When we feel joy, we laugh. When we feel sadness, we cry. When we feel anger, we shout. When we feel connection, we smile. But when we feel something too dangerous to express, the body does something different. It closes the mouth completely. It says, "Don't let this feeling escape. Not yet." And the lips become a lid on a boiling pot. Now pause and think. How many people in your life do this? You see them sit silently, their body stiff, their words short, but their lips tight, pressed together, not relaxed, not neutral, tense, holding, containing. And that's your sign. They're hiding something. Maybe not a lie, maybe not a secret, but an emotion, an opinion, a truth that doesn't feel safe. That's not the moment to push. That's the moment to soften, because what's behind those lips is not silence, it's unspoken pain. So from today, watch for it. When you see someone press their lips shut, don't believe the words they say next. Believe the emotion they're trying not to show. That's the real conversation. And when you learn to see this, you'll become someone people feel safe with, because you'll notice what others ignore. You'll hear the emotions that live in silence. And that is what changes lives. Trick 9. Look at the feet. They point to the truth, even when the face pretends. We live in a world where most people are trained to lie with their faces. They smile when they don't mean it. They nod when they disagree. They say, "I'm happy to be here," while checking their phone, yawning, or barely paying attention. That's why reading people is hard. We're always looking at their expressions, at their words, at their gestures. But if you really want to know the truth, you need to stop looking up and start looking down, because the feet never lie. Here's the secret. The feet point where the heart wants to go. Not where the mouth says, not where the brain decides, but where the body naturally leans. When someone is interested, connected, and emotionally present, their feet will face you. Their body will stay aligned. They will lean into the conversation. But when someone feels bored, disconnected, ready to leave, emotionally distant, secretly not interested, their feet will quietly turn away. They may still smile. They may keep talking, but their body is already preparing to go. Imagine this. You're standing in a group, talking, laughing, sharing stories. One person keeps nodding, but their feet, they're pointed toward the door or toward someone else, or shifting constantly. They're not in the conversation. They're not with you. Their face is pretending, but their feet are already gone. This is why you must observe below the surface. You ask your partner, "Are you really okay with this decision?" They say, "Yeah, sure," but their feet are crossed tightly, facing the opposite direction. Their toes keep tapping, their legs look ready to stand up. They said yes, but their bodies said no. This even shows up in dating. Two people on a first date. One leans in, feet relaxed and facing the other. The other sitting stiff, feet turned toward the exit, hands in their lap. You don't need a conversation to know what's real. You just need to watch the legs. The face is trained. The voice is rehearsed. But the feet are raw, honest, uncontrolled. From now on, don't be fooled by polite words or polite faces. Ask yourself, where are they really trying to go? If their feet point to you, they're present. If their feet turn away, they've already left emotionally. It's not always dramatic, but it's always truthful. And when you learn to read this, you'll stop begging for attention from people who already turned away. You'll stop chasing smiles that don't mean anything. And you'll finally connect with people who are really with you, not just standing in front of you. Trick 10, fake smiles don't reach the eyes. The mask always slips. Smile. It's the most practiced lie in the world. We're told to smile for photos, smile at strangers, smile to be polite, smile even when it hurts. And so we learn how to stretch our lips, even when our heart is breaking. But the human body always leaves a clue. A real smile reaches the eyes. A fake one never does. This is one of the most powerful tricks you can ever learn because so many people in your life are smiling, but they're not happy. They're not connected. They're not telling the truth. They're just wearing a mask because it's easier than being honest. How can you tell the difference? Look at the eyes. A real smile crinkles the corners of the eyes, creates natural wrinkles called crow's feet, makes the cheeks lift, feels warm, alive, and contagious. A fake smile is only in the mouth. The eyes stay flat, cold, or tired. The face looks like it's posing. There's no spark, just shape. Here's the sad part. Most fake smiles come from pain, from people who don't feel safe enough to be real, from people who are exhausted but trying to look strong, from people who feel lonely in rooms full of people. You ask, "How are you?" They smile wide and say, "Great," but their eyes stay empty, stay still. No shine, no softness, no life. You're not seeing joy, you're seeing performance. Now imagine the opposite. A child sees their mom after a long trip. A man sees his lost friend return. A woman hears, "You got the job." Their smile bursts from the whole face. Eyes tear up, muscles soften. There's warmth in the gaze. That's not performance. That's real emotion breaking through the surface. So from now on, don't just look at the mouth. Look at the eyes. When someone smiles but their eyes don't change, they're protecting themselves. They're performing. They're hiding something. And your job isn't to judge. It's to notice and to gently ask, "You smiled, but are you really okay?" That moment of awareness can change everything because it tells people, "I see past the mask. You don't have to pretend here." And sometimes that's all someone needs to be truly seen behind the smile. Trick 11. Silence isn't empty. It's full of emotion. You ask someone a question, they don't respond. Seconds pass. They lower their eyes. They look away. They take a breath and still silence. What do most people do? They panic. They fill the gap with words. They change the subject. They say, "It's okay, forget it." But the one who understands psychology doesn't interrupt the silence because that silence is not empty. It's full of thoughts they're afraid to speak, feelings they haven't processed, pain they're trying to hide, love they don't know how to confess, regret they can't name, anger they're afraid to show. Silence is one of the most powerful emotional languages on earth. It's louder than shouting. It's deeper than long conversations. It holds all the words that couldn't come out. The moment you ask, "Why did you do that to me?" and the person just stares, waits, swallows, avoids eye contact, that silence is not a void. It's a battlefield. A war inside them. A war between what they feel and what they're willing to reveal. A woman says to her boyfriend, "Do you still love me?" He smiles weakly. Then silence. He doesn't say no. He doesn't say yes. He looks away. He shifts in his chair. He sighs. The silence screams louder than any words. That's not hesitation. That's emotional disconnection. Silence can also be respect, fear, or guilt. A child breaks something and stays silent. A friend hides a secret and avoids the topic. A parent doesn't reply because they're trying not to cry. It's all communication, but most people never hear it because they never stop talking. Here's the truth. Every second of silence is filled with truth if you can sit still and listen. So next time someone gives you silence, don't fear it. Don't rush it. Just hold space and then ask, "Is there something you're not ready to say?" That one question can break years of emotional walls because what people need most is someone who sees what they're not saying. And that someone can be you. Trick 12. Time reveals priority, not words. Some people will say, "I care about you. You're important to me. You're like family. Of course I support you. Let's meet soon." But they never call. They never show up. They never check in. They cancel plans. They forget. They're too busy. Words are beautiful, but they're cheap. If you want to know what a person really values, don't listen to their mouth. Watch how they spend their time. Because time is the one thing people never waste on what they don't truly care about. Someone who messages you first, priority. Someone who remembers your little details, priority. Someone who finds 10 minutes for you, even on a busy day, priority. Someone who didn't have time to even reply to your success or struggle, you were not their priority. And that's the most painful truth of all. But it's also the most freeing. Once you stop believing their words, you start seeing their real choices. A friend who texts every day doesn't need to say, "I care." A partner who listens with attention doesn't need to say, "You matter." A parent who sacrifices their time doesn't need to say, "I love you." Time said it all. Think of this. If someone has time to scroll Instagram for 2 hours but didn't reply to your message for 3 days, that's a choice. And that choice told you the truth. And once you accept this truth, you'll never chase the wrong people again. The most painful people to read are not the liars. They're the sweet talkers, the ones who speak beautifully but disappear when it matters. So here's your trick. Don't read their messages, read their actions. If they're always busy for you but always available for others, they've already told you where you stand, and you deserve better. Trick 13. They mirror who they secretly respect or desire. This trick is invisible to the untrained eye, but once you see it, you'll never unsee it again. People mirror the body language of someone they secretly admire, trust, or want to feel close to. It's not conscious, it's not fake, it's psychological bonding. The brain says, "I want to connect with this person," and so the body starts copying. The way they sit, the way they hold their drink, the way they use their hands, even their tone, rhythm, or facial expression. It's called mirroring. For example, you lean on your left hand. A moment later, they do too. You take a sip of water. They reach for their drink. You cross your legs. They slowly cross theirs. Not perfectly, but close enough to be felt. Not always seen. It's the body saying, "We're on the same team." But here's the genius part. People only mirror what they value. They don't mirror people they dislike. They don't copy people they don't respect. They don't reflect the energy of people they feel superior to. So when someone starts mimicking your pace, posture, or words, they're sending a nonverbal signal. You matter to me. I want to be in sync with you. I feel connected to your presence. In relationships, mirroring shows emotional intimacy. Two lovers start using the same slang. They laugh the same way. They lean in at the same time. They feel like mirrors because they want to be mirrors. In conversations, if the person starts talking like you, using your words or copying your calm tone, they're drawn to your energy, and that is influence. But what if someone never mirrors you? They don't respond to your tone, they don't adapt. They act cold, stiff, uninterested. That means they feel emotionally distant. They don't value your presence. Or worse, they want you to chase them. So stop chasing. Start reading, because the body already told you the truth. Mirroring is not about ego, it's about connection. And once you start seeing who mirrors you, you'll know exactly who's emotionally present and who's just physically standing in the room. If this video gave you something valuable, if even one trick helped you, then don't forget to subscribe, because we don't just teach English. We teach how to understand people, how to grow, how to protect your heart, and how to speak and listen like someone who truly sees the world. Subscribe now and let's keep building your power, one truth at a time. We're just getting started.